Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you another one of our Sword and Shield live matchups. Now, real quick, I want to say this real quick. So for the Sword and Shield set we're getting in February 2nd, or 7th, I think, actually is the release date. It's actually the same day that the VMAX set in Japan gets released. So just fair warning, we might be getting we most likely are going to be getting the VMAX set simultaneously with Japan in our Sword and Shield set. So what we have right now is probably not going to be most likely not going to be every card that is going to be released in Sword and Shield. But it's going to be a good chunk of cards, and these decks are still pretty good and they're fun to play with. And in case we don't get them, this is the meta, but so this is most likely we are going to get them. It is good to keep in mind that there's going to be more cards that make some decks better and worse, and then we will test those as well. So think of this as preliminary testing for Sword and Shield. But hey guys, we're playing Sword and Shield here. We got to the left, my buddy John, he's playing ObstaGOONS with Sableye and the Veltal GX. And to the right, I am playing the updated Arceus Dialga Palkia. Is there even a doubt that I'll be playing this deck at some point with, of course, our new friend Zacian. Which should you guys say? Let me know in the comments down below which do you guys think is right and which do you guys say. I say Zacian, but I think the right way to say it is Zacian. So I want to start training myself to say Zacian, but I need to confirm that it's pronounced Zacian. So I'm going first, of course. We're playing the no turn one supporter rules, which is why you see me doing this. And I just ended my turn by using Zacian's ability. I have the Aurora energy on my ADP, which lets you discard a card from your hand instead of put a damage counter and acts like a rainbow. Jirachi in the active, Zacian on the bench, and Zacian's ability is draw 3 cards, end your turn, but if any of those cards with metal energy, you may attach it, but regardless your turn ends, and I'm just checking for glare right now. My opponent is playing ObstaGOON. This is a really, really cool deck. As you can see, he's discarding a Mimikyu. You don't need Mimikyu in this matchup, but ZigZagoon has an ability when you play it down from your hand onto the board. You may drop a damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon, anywhere you like. And then ObstaGOON, stage 2, but has the same ability, except instead of 1 damage counter, you may put 3 damage counters on a Pokemon anywhere you like. He's also playing Sableye. Now, Sableye does 10 damage, plus 60 more damage for each damage counter on a Pokemon. For each damage counter. So if you can put 4 damage counters on my my Arceus Dialga Palkia, or ADP, then he hits me for, what is that, 60... times 4, 6, 12, 18, 24, 250 damage, and then of course he'll have 4 damage counters on me already, so it's 290 damage. So that's a lot of damage, and really easy to do. That's 1 ObstaGOON drop with a 1 ZigZagoon drop. It's super easy, super simple. I don't see, he didn't put a damage counter on any of my Pokemon, so I guess we just both forgot. Maybe we'll pick it up in a second, we'll see. But if we did forget, hopefully it won't be that big of a deal. Oh yeah, okay, we just remembered. All right, perfect. Cool, it's been a while since we played these games, but he's putting it, and then he's using Mew to spread damage onto my thing. We are playing double Mew, not only to protect our bench, but also because it's good for spreading damage, putting things in range of Sableye. So I'm going to go ahead and quick ball away Cryogonal, which I'm still playing. By the way, this deck that I'm playing right now does not play Keldeo anymore because Zacian is just such a strong card on its own. Being able to hit 270 with a Fine Pand and an ADP boost, it doesn't feel super necessary to play the Keldeo in my testing. And I've played easily 30-40 games with this deck list, which is probably too many, but like easily so many games with this deck, and I really like this deck. But I'm considering putting the Keldeo back just so I can have that Sonic Edge attack that hits passive effects, because ObstaGOON's attack means that your opponent's basics can't damage you, and if ObstaGOON becomes a good deck, then that's going to be a problem, because we don't have a way to damage it outside of like trying to switch it around with cards like Fion, which I am playing in this deck. I'm going to go ahead and play a switch. I should have probably just hard retreated, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I have another one in hand. I probably should have just hard retreated and then switched. Maybe I'm gonna play a Professor Research. You can go to Metal Patch there though, and then we're gonna switch again. So I might be playing a Professor's Research here. We'll see. If not, then I guess I'm not. Oh, I am playing Research. Okay, that's why. Okay, cool. Like, because let's say there's no reason for me to. I could have just hard switched and then played switch, but okay, we're all good here. Just setting up my dudes. Yeah, setting up my dudes. Slowly and surely, GX attacking, so now I can take the extra damage. So Zacian hits 230, but can't attack the following turn. But now with the boost, it's 260, and if you get a Fine Bend, you hit 270. That's really good in your Reshizar matchups, your Mewtwo matchups, things that have 270 HP. It's just really good in general. And then, of course, he's just trying to put damage counters all over my board. But he needs to take a knockout. He needs to start putting pressure on the board. If he can attack me with Sableye, which I don't think he can because he didn't attach an energy to Sableye last turn, then he would have been in an okay position because he could have taken a knockout. Here, it doesn't look like he can do much. I already have Fion down, not Manaphy, so I can always switch him out if he does attack me with ObstaGOON. But because he can't do much here, this is a really bad scenario for him. Generally, when you play against ADP, you need to be the aggressor. You need to be able to take knockouts as quickly as possible, since they give you essentially a free turn to set up. But anyways, I'm about almost 5 minutes deep into this video, and we haven't even talked about the things you guys gotta do for me, like liking the video, if you guys don't mind. I would appreciate a like. Dropping a like, subscribing, sharing, all that good jazz. Let me know in the comments below what the comment question that I asked earlier, for not only a chance to win some Sword and Shield packs when they come out, but also a chance to win a booster box of Sword and Shield when it comes out. Thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming. And real quick, like I have a little a script here, because my boy Gumball keeps telling me to say, join the Discord and check out the Patreon if you guys want early deck list of these decks. Check out Twitter, Instagrams, all the things. Follow me in the socials. You know the drill. Right now, there's background stuff going on. I'm taking a knockout. I'm accelerating energies. Zacian's all set up on the bench, but they both have 4 damage counters on it, which means Sableye can be a big threat, but I can also knock out Sableye in return because I have 2 attackers ready. So now he's actually in a really bad position. Like, there really isn't much he can do now, because actually there is something he could do. He could technically take a knockout here, and then if I don't set up another Zacian, it's going to be kind of difficult for me. Luckily, I have metal patches and stuff, so it's not actually too difficult to set up Zacian. But if he can attack with Sableye right now, and then get Yveltal GX and take a knockout with that. So Yveltal GX's GX attack does 40 for 1 energy, takes a knockout if your opponent has 4 damage counters on them. So it's a really great way to take an immediate knockout. But here he's choosing not to do that. I guess it's because he whiffed the dark energy here, which is, I think that's exactly what happened. Because if you whiff the dark, which, yeah, he doesn't have a dark energy in his hand, then he's in a bad position. He could have taken a knockout if he found the dark, but I guess he whiffed it. Just Stage 2. Even though Stage 2 have Evo Incense and Quick Ball and stuff like that, you're still playing a Stage 2 deck. So occasionally it'll be clumpy, but this deck has been amazing in our testing. ObstaGOON has been taking absolute souls. But here, he whiffed the dark. He wasn't able to take a knockout. He doesn't have Yveltal. He's way too behind, I think, to win this game, because we're about to take another 2 prizes. So even if he does take a knockout next turn with Sableye, we take the revenge knockout because we have 2 attackers ready on our bench, and that should be GG. I don't think we can do much about this. Yeah, and we fully healed thanks to Milo and Lana too. So even if he does evolve into an ObstaGOON, because he has Rose on hand, right? So he can get the Dark Energy, Rare Candy. He already has ObstaGOON in hand. He can get everything he needs to take a knockout, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Because he could have got a thing. What's it called? A Quick Ball as well with Rosa. So Rosa would have get him. No, Zigzagoon. He could have got him Rare Candy, Zigzagoon, and Dark Energy, which would have been 4 damage counters because he already had the ObstaGOON in hand, which would have been enough for Sableye to take an Oko because he had the Dark Energy as well. But unfortunately, because he was a whole turn behind, because he whiffed that Dark Energy attachment last turn, he unfortunately was in too bad of a position. What he could have done earlier is, instead of attaching to Mew, he could have just attached to Sableye. The cool thing about the V Pokemon is, once again, there's no great catcher to pull them up. The only way to pull them up is with custom catchers or flipping heads on a Pokemon catcher and stuff like that. So he could have felt safe putting energies on Sableye and just kind of passing and letting the Mew get knocked out, since I don't have any snipe attacks in this deck. But I guess he wanted to put a little bit more pressure on, which is it's not a misplay or anything like that. He just whiffed the Dark Energies. You can't account for whiffing Dark Energies. I mean, I guess technically you could. But here, am I going first? I am going first. Okay, so I think I did the order of the games wrong, which is okay, I guess. It's usually like my opponent would be going first because I just won last game. But I guess I did the order of the games wrong, so I guess we're going first again. So yeah, that's fine. I always make sure there's 3 games where at least one of us wins both games. So there's that. But we're going to go ahead and play the Denny here with our Quick Ball. We need to find a turn 1 attachment. That's the name of the game here. We can't play a supporter turn 1, so we're relying on the Denny to find us that manual attachment turn 1. Otherwise, we are going to be a turn behind, which is okay. We can usually make do with it, and especially in matchups where we don't need the ADP boost. Here, we're just going to discard a card from our... I'm just trying to decide which one. Get rid of that recess sample. We did get the Aurora Energy, which is great, which means we're not forced to play Guzmahala anymore either. Although Guzmahala is never bad, but we did get both a Skateboard and a Giant Heart. So Giant Charm is really cool in this deck, because Giant Charm means that you are now 310 HP on your Arceus Dialga, which means family, which means cards like Mewtwo can't Oko you using like Family Zard's GX attack for 4 energies, which is something that was always a worry for this deck. Like, ADP hates being Oko'd, and I don't think there's many attacks in the game that can OHKO you. Yet alone can OHKO you in turn 2 if you have a giant charm attach, or a big charm, whatever the card is called. Because like unlike before, like say Reshizard, right? Reshizard uses GX attack to hit past effects. Well, plus 30 HP does not count as an effect you can hit past, because it's not like Choice Helmet where the damage gets reduced by 30. No, you just have 310 HP now, which means not even like Reshizard can OHKO you unless they of course play Fine Band. But they're usually not going to be playing Fine Band. Maybe Reshizard, but definitely not Mewtwo, because Mewtwo has to play cards like Stealthy Hood and stuff. So I doubt they'll ever be playing Fine Band unless numbers like are that good for it. So we're gonna go ahead and use the thing here. We did get, we're gonna just GX attack for sure here. So we actually have a pretty decent setup going on so far. Unfortunately, we do have a Dedenne down, which is the easy target, and my opponent didn't do anything last turn. I just realized they just have a Oranguru lead and nothing else. This game's very long though, which means that he definitely got something. He's not out of the woods yet. But we don't get to attack him this turn, so we don't get a knockout this turn. We didn't get the crazy like triple, what's it called? Triple, what's that thing called? Metal saucer or whatever? Metal patch, steel patch, that thing, whatever it's called. But here's on Cynthia's. Hopefully he can get a bunch of ObstaGOONS down. There's a few Dark Energies that he missed last game. Well, he didn't get much, but he got one Pokemon down. And he can always use Oranguru's ability, which is you look at the top card of your deck and trade it with one card in your hand, so it's like looking at +1 card. It works really well when you play the engine, what's it called? Marnie. Whenever you play Marnie, to like shuffle your shuffle your hand, put it in the bottom of the deck, and draw 5 cards. It's good whenever you can pick one of those cards to put back into your hand by using a Oranguru, by trading it essentially, exchanging it, because trade is a different ability altogether, which will be a different deck we play for sure. But he did get a Zigzagoon down, and he got a second Zigzagoon down. I guess he got that one off the trade, off the exchange, I should say. Dark Energy attachment. So far, so good, because he can always just use ObstaGOON to stall for time, being able to put 90 damage on the board while also being immune to basic attacks. It's still pretty big and can make this matchup very, very scary. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach, which is good, because it means I can start accelerating energy onto my Zacian on the bench. Now here I could attach to another ADP, so it's not like horrible to bench it, but at the same time, I don't want to bench 2-3 prize Pokemon on the board. I'd rather just try to find my second Zacian. Now I only play a 2-2 split of Zacian and ADP in this deck, so maybe I was better off just benching the ADP, but I also wanted to thin the deck so I could find that second Zacian. It'd be really nice if I could find it though, just so I can accelerate all the energies onto it. But if I haven't used any metal patches yet, then I'm in a pretty good position, because I can save those metal patches for the second one eventually. I'm just gonna go ahead and attack here, take my knockout, take my 2 prizes. So it puts me in a good position. But here he can start stalling for time by evolving into an ObstaGOON if he has the pieces. He just top decked Rosa, so he's good to go. He can get Rare Candy, ObstaGOON, Dark Energy, and start attacking immediately. Although, I don't know if that's the play. Now, this deck that I'm playing right now with ObstaGOON does not play Dedenne. I'm going to try a different build that plays like maybe 1 or 2 Dedennes and like 1 or 2 fishing rods to get those, I think they're called normal rods now, to get a combination of 2 energies and 2 Pokemon, so a total of 4 cards back into your deck from the discard pile, which is good, because my main concern with this deck is tossing too many Pokemon, but it's also, my other concern is also tossing too many rare candies, which is why I don't want to play, the Dedenne now in the deck. I like the Roses a lot in this deck, and I think I'd rather just play more Roses, because Roses can get you out of really tight situations very easily. But at the same time, the Dedenne does kind of feel like it's necessary, since you are playing the Quick Ball already. So I'm going to be trying out a bunch of different builds of ObstaGOON. Right now, this is the no Dedenne build. I think 2 Rosas, 3 Marnies, and 4 Cynthias, and a 1/1 line of Zebstrika, which is easy enough to get things to Evo Incense. But he did 90 damage to me, and unless I find my Fion here, I can't do anything. It's just that simple. I need Fion to be able to push back his ObstaGOON. Fion's that or Custom Catcher, right? Because I don't play Great Catcher in this deck, because I'm not a big fan of Great Catcher. Or not Great Catcher, Pokemon Catcher, the flip Lysander, the flip Guzma, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big fan of that card, although it's definitely a good card, especially in this upcoming format. I feel like that card's going to be very, very strong. But I'm not a big fan of flipping. So it's just that simple. I don't like flipping to win, because, oh man, do I lose those a lot. So I am battle scarred from playing those kind of cards. So I'm not playing those right now, but that's a card you can easily fit into your deck. I see some decks in Japan doing 2 or 3 builds. Oh, by the way, I saw this comment the other day saying that I copy my deck list from other YouTubers. One, I don't watch a lot of other YouTubers. The ones who I love watching are people like Omnipoke. I occasionally watch Andrew Mahone. I watch Yellow Swellow. Azul. I'm a big fan of Azul's content. But like other than those guys, Fish Knuckles I occasionally watch. Celios Network, shout out to you, my dude. He's my man. He's like a day one supporter of the channel too, so shout out to him. He makes great content. I watch their channels. I don't watch anybody else's channels, so I don't know. And as far as I know, none of those other guys are making the deck list, except for I think Celios is making one. Maybe, I don't remember. I think he uploaded a Snorlax Cinchino one that was cool because that's one I was working on at the moment. I was like, oh cool, he built it too. But I don't think I watched it yet. But shout out to you, Igor. I'm gonna drop a like on that video. But what's it called? I don't know any other YouTubers that are watching this, but I can guarantee you right now, all of them are doing what I'm doing, which is taking a look at Japanese deck lists that are doing well and just kind of building them based off that. Because yeah, that's the thing. Japan is already playing with these in tournaments, so it's good to look at what is successful and building it based off that, rather than just coming up on your own and then it's terrible and you're wasting your time. That's what I found at least. But anyways, things have been happening during my turn, and I managed to switch around, but I unfortunately have not managed to take a knockout. But I did heal with Malalana, so that was pretty cool. But because no Fion yet, I whiffed the Fion, either that or it's prize. Although I don't think it's prize. I think I just whiffed it. We cannot attack this turn, which means we're gonna have to wait a whole turn to find a Fion. Which is scary because he can keep stalling and keep setting up his board to take knockouts. He's actually not in a bad position here because if I can't find my Fion, he can just start pressurizing knockouts, spreading damage some more, and then finishing the game off with like a Sableye or a Veltal sweep. So it's really, really good for him, and it's very scary for me. I'm not a fan, but I'm also a big fan. Oh, you know what? I remember what happened. Here's the thing. If he sets up that second Zigzagoon to become an ObstaGOON, then I'm in a huge problem, right? Because I can't hit past his effect without my Fion. Fion is only to switch it. If he has solo ObstaGOON on the board, I just lose because I don't have Keldeo in this deck anymore. I still stand by the fact that you don't really need Keldeo in this deck. It'd be nice to have maybe there's other attackers out there that can hit past the effect, or maybe I can play like a random evolution line, although I'm not the biggest fan of playing a random evolution line in this deck. I think I'd rather keep it all basics. But if he can evolve that ObstaGOON, see now what I need to do, right, is I need to knock out this ObstaGOON in particular. I can't just knock out the Zigzagoon. First of all, he probably has Rosas and stuff that he can mess around with. So as soon as I knock out the one ObstaGOON, he could probably use a Rosa and set up the second ObstaGOON and then win the game. So what I need to do is not only find Fion, I also need to find double custom catchers so I can pull up the Zigzagoon, so I can pull up the ObstaGOON and knock it out and then hope he still does not have the Rosa, right? He has the Evo Incense and he also has the rare candy in hand. So I think because I whiffed it for 2 turns, I think that's just game. I don't think I can do anything. He has it in hand. Yep, there we go. I just think that's game. Now I have to hope he doesn't get the dark energy. Okay, so now we still have a chance. I can just knock this. I still have to knock out the active one because the active one has two energies on it to it. So I still need to do the Fion into the double catcher play to take a knockout on the ObstaGOON active right now. But I have to also hope he doesn't get a second dark energy. I mean, there's 3 on the board. I know he only plays 9 right now, so the chances of him getting another dark energy are not the highest in the world, but they exist clearly. So I have to make this I have to do this as quickly as possible. I can't bench anything else except for Fion, so I have to toss everything else. There is a Cryogonal, which I will quick ball away to probably get Fion, I think. Yeah, there's the Fion. Okay, so now we really need to find this. We really need to find this double catcher right now. I can't just knock out the ObstaGOON on the bench, or that's like auto loss. And I don't think I played double custom catcher yet. I'm gonna go ahead and Professor Research. I always say Juniper, and then I correct it by saying Sycamore. It's weird too, because I don't even play in the black and white format. I just kind of watched games. Okay, so we got the Fion, we got the double catcher, so we managed to pull it off. Can he not get a dark energy? All we need to do is see him not get a dark energy, and we're okay. So if we got this a turn before, we were okay. He did get a Cynthia top deck though, so now we have to hope he doesn't have a Den either. I think he's gonna play some cards now. Quick ball, toss the rare candy, so he can draw with the custom catcher first, because he literally just needs the dark energy, and I think he just wins the game. I don't think I can do anything from there. gonna go ahead and draw 3, 2, or draw 2. He can quick ball again just to thin some more, fail the search. He can't bench anything, because if he benches anything, he loses, because all I gotta do at that point is find my last Fion, which shouldn't be that hard since my deck is thin. And I already cut him, so let's see if he draws that dark. Does he draw that dark? Oh, he ripped it. Oh, okay, so from here, it's just GG. I can't do anything. I can't GX with the Dedenne to paralyze him. I don't think there's any way for me to disrupt his energy card. I can't damage him in any way. I don't have any other attackers that can hit past the effects of this dude. But luckily for me, ADP runs like butter. It is buttery smooth. It is so clean. Thanks to Zacian's ability and quick ball being in the deck now, bro. This deck is, I'm just looking through my deck to see if there's anything I can do. I don't think there's a single thing I can do, so I'm probably gonna screw this one up here in a second. But dude, Zacian ADP is buttery smooth, bro. I'm talking like soft. I'm talking like put that thing on a grill, put it on a frying pan, crack some eggs on it, buttery smooth, oily smooth. This deck is so good right now. Thanks to your 3 tag calls and 4 quick balls and I'm playing 3 Jirachi, you could play 4 Jirachi, and your Dedenne, you are able to constantly find ADP. Like, finding ADP is not even an issue. And then thanks to your tag calls, you can get Guzma Hala, which will get you one of the Aurora energies, which in this deck, I'm not playing any waters. I'm just playing 4 Aurora because you don't need the water energies because you're not playing Keldeo, which opens up so much more space in the deck when you're not playing Keldeo, because then you don't have to worry about playing any basic waters. You don't have to worry about playing the Keldeo itself. You can just focus on playing the 4 Aurora energies, which are easy enough to just attach. Also, those work on the Zacian since they are 3 metal energies to attack. So here, I think, yeah. So I did get them backwards, but it's fine. We're already here. I'm not gonna stop commentating because I've been talking for over 20 minutes straight and my throat hurts, and I'm not gonna do that again. We did lead with the Kraganol because I did not want to have either ADP or Zacian active, but we did get ADP and Zacian. So that's really, really good for us because that means not only do we get the ideally, and we're going second, which means that we can use Guzma Hala this turn if we find it, and we can also yeah, we're gonna toss frying pan. We can also get the Aurora energy because we just straight up ripped the Guzma Hala. Now we are playing 3 tackles and we're playing a lot of ways to get these things. Digging is not hard in this deck. Like even on like the worst case scenario, the Dedenne is prize. Then you might have some issues, but I'm only playing 1 Dedenne. You could easily fit in 2. Fitting in 2 means you're gonna lead the Dedenne a lot, and I hate that. So I only cut down to 1. Not only that, because I also feel like I haven't really needed to play the Dedenne, except for turn 1 whenever I really whipped an energy. But because I think I'm playing 12 energies, that's enough for me to find them most of the time, turn 1. But we're gonna go ahead and use Zacian's ability to draw a few cards. We already have a skateboard on the active. We already have Aurora energy, which we discarded the what's it called? The Chaotic Swell, which I'm still playing a 1 of. I don't know if there's any other stadium worth playing in this deck right now. I like the Chaotic Swell for its disruption value, but I'm playing it because I can find it with Guzma Hala, right? And it's nice to bump stadiums like Wonder Lab and other Prism Star stadiums like Thunder Mountain and stuff like that. So I still play the Chaotic Swell because it essentially bumps 2 stadiums, but you could play something else. I'm not a big fan of playing the Mount Cornet because you're not going to be getting energies from your discard pile. You're going to be getting them with Metal Patch, which is just much better. So putting them back in your hand doesn't really achieve anything, nor have I ever felt like I needed a manual attachment. Most games, we're going to go ahead and discard that with the Aurora energy, which I attach a second one to, and then use the Metal Patch to attach to the Zacian. Probably an unnecessary play. I probably could have kept that. Especially since I'm not even discarding or drawing this turn. I think maybe that was unnecessary. That was definitely unnecessary. But you know what? We did it, and it's fine because it worked. We did it because it's a cool card and it's fun. So here he's probably going to take a knockout because unless he whiffs, of course. We don't have our Giant Charm, so we're not going to be taking any. We're not going to be avoiding the knockout. English is hard. Okay, so to get the knockout, he needs 4 damage counters on me. That's just 1 ObstaGOON evolution, which shouldn't be that difficult, but it might be, and we'll see. But it could have been with the Giant Charm. He would also need a Zigzagoon, which he does not have, so that's good. He draws 6. He got a Zigzagoon. It does not look like he have an ObstaGOON, so we should be good there. Getting another Zigzagoon is good because he can snipe. He can put some damage on Zacian on the bench. He could also try to 2-hit KO me, but with Malolana in format, it doesn't feel like that's the best play in the world. He can use the first attack to put a trainer card from his discard pile into his hand. Sableye's first attack. So there's that. Oranguru can help him look one card deeper, though that one card shouldn't do too much, to be honest. I think here he just puts it on the benched one, honestly. I think he wants to retreat. I think he's going to have to retreat this turn because he can't let this thing be knocked out, especially since he's giving up 3 prizes with it. Quick Ball would be good because it can get him a, what's it called? Substrike Blitzel. It can get him a Blitzel. Oranguru is good because you can look at the top card of the deck just to see what's going on there. It's a Dark Energy. He doesn't really need that, so you can put the other Dark Energy back. I think he should try to get a Blitzel this turn and then sack the Oranguru because everything else seems really good. Or maybe he can sack one of his Obstrikos. He's choosing, oh yeah, on the bench. Bench is probably the right play because once again, ObstaGOON is all he needs to take a knockout, or ObstaGOON plus Zacian drop would be 4 damage counters on the 4 more damage counters on the active, which would also get a knockout. He's just going to choose to attack. I think the right play would have been to retreat, honestly, because this is really risky. You're giving up 3 prizes. At least give up 2 prizes, force me to take even 2 more knockouts. Although I guess I'm taking 2 more knockouts regardless, right? So I don't think it matters too much. But now he's whiffing his knockout. He can't take an. He does have Yveltal in hand actually, so I guess he isn't completely whiffing his knockout. With Yveltal in his hand, he should be able to take a knockout next turn with an ObstaGOON drop. It just forces the GX attack, right? I think that's the Yveltal. Oh yeah, we're not playing Yveltal GX because we don't actually own one. We just found a regular old Yveltal card. It's a non-GX card. That's going to be our Yveltal GX proxy. Just fair warning, because we did not find one because you don't keep cards. I sold most of my cards, so I actually don't have a lot of cards anymore. But he does. I see that Yveltal in his hand, so he can just use that instead. Which is not bad by any means, but looks like he's discarding it. So, not really sure. He can't take a knockout this turn, as far as I'm aware. Getting another Zigzagoon is fine. Maybe he's just trying to go for the whole like solo ObstaGOON play again. But he could have got it right if he's playing the Cynthia. I feel like that was the wrong play. I feel like maybe because he needs to take a knockout this turn, even if but I see what's going on because I already have a Zacian on the bench. A Zacian on the bench, which would have just taken a revenge knockout. He would have lost the game because it's another 3 prizes. I'm sorry, just seeing it as a non-GX Pokemon made me think it was only going to give up 2 prizes with the boost. So okay, I get what he's doing now. That makes me think he should have retreated even more than last turn. Like giving up the Oranguru would have been much better because at the very least he could have pressured for a knockout while still being in a good position and then going from there. He's going to retreat and just hit for 90. So he's just trying to stall for time again with ObstaGOON's attack. Luckily for me, though, there are 3 targets on the bench, so I can use Fion twice to win the game if I need to. There's a switch to go into this dude, I guess, just to pivot. Try to figure out what I can do here, because I still need to find Fion, so at least, at the very least, I can switch into this thing for your treater if I need to. But if I don't find the Fion, then I have to wait a turn. So maybe he can take advantage of this situation of me waiting and potentially take a knockout with enough drops. I have 90 plus 30 damage on me, right? So that's 110 damage. That means I have 170 damage left on me. He would need to attack me twice. I don't think there's any combination of where he can just like, any combination of drops that could be enough damage, I think, because he hits me for 90. Maybe a Fine Band could be good to hit for 100, but even then that wouldn't be enough because he still has to do 70 more damage. So he would need to get 2 ObstaGOONs into a Zigzagoon to take a knockout in a perfect turn, right? But here we're just passing because we have the Quick Ball now, but it's not enough clearly to take a knockout. So we're just passing here. And then next turn, ideally, we can find something. Or he might just take a knockout on the Jirachi. Which would be fine because then we can just come in and take a knockout ourselves and then do Fion twice to win the game. But here he's going to Marnie to get rid of my Quick Ball that I have in my hand. So now I have to draw the Fion or a Quick Ball again. So Marnie being very strong in this deck, just having that little bit of hand disruption goes a long way for these kind of setup decks. We've seen similar decks like this before. Decks that need a lot of setup play like 4 judges. We've seen decks like Zorak do the same thing, although Zorak has trade. We have Blitzel in this deck, but he hasn't ever pulled out the Blitzel. Oh, because Blitzel is prized a lot in these games. So we were thinking about going up to a 2-2 line. He's going to knock out the Jirachi, and I'm going to pull up the dude. Here I'm going to find Fion, because we did manage to find the Fion, and we can just retreat and attack. And then we have to find Fiona again to win the game, so let's see if we can. So you can force him to pull up anything, just probably one of his ObstaGOONS. I don't think you'll need all 3 down. Or he can sack a Rangaroo as well. I guess he is really banking on that spread damage to win the game, which isn't a bad play, so that should be fine. We're taking 2 more prizes here though. Let's see if he can find a reset stamp so we can stamp me down to 1. That'd be ideal. He does have it in hand, so he does get to stamp me down to 1. And he gets to use Rose as well, which is Rare Candy, ObstaGOON, Dark Energy, which is more than enough. I'm not more than enough, but you know, gets him a goon here. Let's see if he has a catcher in hand. He could also great catcher up my thing on the bench to try to knock it out. Of course, because 2-hit KOs are a thing and Malamon also a thing, it's not like the safest play in the world. But he can just go ahead evolve into ObstaGOON here. Spread more damage, reset stamp me down to 1. So now we are working on top decks. There's no Jirachi on the board, there's nothing on the board, but of course we know there's a Fiona in the deck. The deck is really thin because Professor Research is a very strong card. So we might be in a good position here. He's gonna go ahead and put 5 damage counters on me, so the 90 damage makes it 140, which is 2-hit KO. Now, although it wasn't a 2-hit KO before. So let's see if I get Fiona. Clearly I don't think I have it, or else I would have just slapped it down. Gonna go ahead and play Switch. Don't want anything to be knocked out here. And end my turn with the Zacian's ability, which is so strong. Because if I can't attack, I can just draw 3 cards, because Zacian's dumb. And it's such a good card, bro. Being able to draw 3 is so good. He's gonna go in Quick Ball to no avail. Not really anything worth grabbing. He could grab a Sableye if he wants to, although that's like, there's no reason to, really. Maybe just to thin his deck, it might be good. Oh, he's gonna grab Blitzel. That's good too, because he can try to get those combo pieces. He would love to get a double catcher here for sure, if he could. Gonna go ahead and play the Cynthia. He could have tried to burn the switch, but there's nothing that has free retreat, I think. He could have lost an energy on the dude on the bench, the Zigzagoon, which wouldn't have, I think would have been fine. No double catcher here, no incense either, so he's gonna go and just take a knockout. Let's see, I top deck the Quick Ball, and there's the Fiona, and that is game. So that's gonna be the series of games, guys. So these 2 decks are crazy. Obviously, ObstaGOON is just strong in general because you have complete basic blocking when you can pull off the combo. The problem is that the combo is kind of hard to pull off because you need a lot of Pokemon down, and especially against ADP where you have that boost, that could be problematic for sure, because ADP puts you on a big timer. Of course, I feel like there was just a crucial misplay of the Sableye. If he retreated the Sableye, then he would have had a turn to take a big knockout, which probably was all he really needed to win the game, is 1 big knockout. After that, he could just start sniping down one of my attackers, whichever I had left. I think at that point, all I would have had left was a Zacian, which means I would have to try to find a second Zacian and start setting up, which I never did, which means that I was never able to find it. So maybe that was a play worth doing, because a Rangaroo, he didn't really use it very often. Oh, we'll see what happens. Here you can just see us setting up for the next deck testing. This one's gonna be, I think the next one's gonna be Morpeko versus ObstaGOON, because we haven't had that matchup yet, so we're gonna be doing that one soon. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Yes, the deck profiles will be going up soon. They're already up. They should both already be up on what's it called? On Patreon. So if you guys want to check those out ahead of time, you can. Otherwise, these will be going up here, depending if you guys can hit that like button, as soon as we hit a good amount of likes. I'm not going to give you guys a goal, just hit the like button, and once I feel like we're at a good amount of likes, I'll go ahead and upload those for you guys. I think we'll do Zacian first, because I'm sure everybody would love to see that. I got so many comments. I see you guys. I see that you guys want to see Zacian ADP, because that deck is bonkers, bro. It is crazy. We're going to be doing Zacian versus Morpeko here soon as well. Actually, I think that's the next matchup. I think Zacian versus Morpeko is the next matchup, and then the one after that will be Morpeko versus ObstaGOON, and then we're going to be switching decks up to a... I have Lapras built. I'm working on a Snorlax V deck and Stonjourner deck, and we got some Rillaboom decks coming up, and what else was I building? Oh, that Torkoal deck that is doing really well in Japan, which just feels like a weaker Reshizard, but I guess it only gives up 2 prizes, so there's that. I think that's everything. There might be more decks, I'm not too sure, but we're going to keep testing for you guys, and you guys are going to keep supporting the channel, and I appreciate all y'all. So don't forget to drop that like if you have not already, subscribe, share all the good jazz, answer the common question of the day, which I asked earlier in the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.